Test 1 2. Let me know if the audio is working. If you're in the stream, I'll test it out here as well. Let's see. Just let me know if the audio is working. If anyone is in the stream, just waiting for this ad to finish playing. Oh Jesus. Oh, looks like it's working. All right. All right, so welcome back to the stream, the video, and in this video, we're gonna be talking about VLOOKUPs. This is one of the things that you have to know, that you have to be able to do if you're gonna work in finance. Um, so yeah, I wanted to go over this today. If you guys have any questions, just put them in the chat, and I'll cover those at the end. And Yeah, as well as if you want me to cover anything else, if you have any questions regarding the VLOOKUPs themselves, you can ask them and I can answer those questions as the video is going on. And at the same time, this is going to be super beginner friendly simply because that's the best way to learn, right? Even if you know how to use it, this might be a good reinforcement. And I'm going to use a really solid example that's realistic, where you are going to be able to use this. So all right, so let's go ahead and get started here. Let's go to let's see. So what exactly is a VLOOKUP? So VLOOKUP is very simple. Essentially, you use it to look up information within a data set, right? Let's say you have data about insurance policies and the states they're in and the all this information, and you're trying to search for let's say uh, where the insurance is located in terms of the state, and the only data you have is the policy number. So with the VLOOKUP, you can use that policy number that you have in order to look for the state that is related to that policy number. So that's the example we're going to be using, something like that, and we're going to use more examples as well. But essentially, it's like a phone book, right? Where you can start with a piece of data that you know, to look for something that you don't know, right? In this term, it might be in the same data set, but if you're dealing with a data set that has a lot of information, it could be hard to do if you want to do like a control F to find it. That might take forever. I've seen where, Excel crashes if you're trying to look something up and the data set is really big. Um, but yeah, so let me pull up, if you guys want to follow along, I'll give you the where I downloaded the file itself. It's gonna be using dummy data, or like just like a fake data set that you can use for see, you have to go over here. All right, so I'll put this in the chat, the link to this. So this is a website where you can get put this in there. All right, it's a website where you can get a bunch of data sets. There's a lot of these here. And they're in Excel as well, so which is really good. So the one I'm going to be using is going to be this one here. This is what is this? This is insurance policies. Um, so each row is going to have things like the policy, the policy number, the expiration date, location, state, region. All that information that's going to be tied to an insurance policy. And I use this because I used to work in insurance, doing kind of like the same thing here. So once you have this downloaded, this is what you're gonna have here. Just this data set over here. So this is what it looks like. Just to give them the credit here. And then there's a bunch of, I don't know what these links are. But the data is gonna be where it says policy data. Right? This is what you're gonna find. And this is what we're gonna try to recreate. I'll delete this after I finish this example. So this is a pretty big data set. If we go all the way to the bottom here, I want to show you how big this is in terms of there you go. So that's 500 different lines here of data, just data. So imagine if you had to, let me go all the way to the top. Okay, great. All right, so going this way, you can see that we don't have a lot of data here, which is fine. But if we're being realistic, there's probably going to be a lot more information going all the way here if you're dealing in the real world. I didn't want to crash my computer, so I just kind of like kept it, nice and neat, something like this that's very small. But so let me go ahead and delete this over here. So you can see that we'll get a bunch of NAs because we have a bunch of VLOOKUPs in here. I'm going to show you how to do this from scratch. So the example is, let's say you were on a call with or your manager or something like that. They're like, hey, what's the expiration date on this policy, and what's the state, and what's the value of it, and what's the business type that's using this policy, right? Instead of trying to go here and trying to find the policy, obviously here you can do this right here, and you can filter out by the policy itself, which is an easy way to do this. But if you're dealing with a lot of data, that's gonna take you a long time. All right, so what you can do, let's say they were asking about this policy here. I can just copy this, or they will tell you what the number is, right? I'm just copying for simplicity here. They'll tell you, hey, this is the policy I'm looking for. I need this information. Now, if I paste it in here, you can see that this fills out, right? We have the expiration date, which is, let me go ahead and highlight this so you guys can see, which is January 2nd, 2021. We have the state, which is, I don't know my states that well. And you also have the value here, and you have the type of farm or type of business, right, which is farming, and then the value here. So if it's another one, let's say this one here, simply change it over here. It's where you do your input, and as you can see, let me go ahead and expand this. It changes it to match this year. So you grabbing the expiration date, which is the same thing as the other one. This one is in New York. You can see the value and the apartment. It's the business type is an apartment. So that's essentially the gist of it. So you're using a piece of information that you know, which is the policy that they say the manager supervisor is telling you, hey, this is the policy. I need this information right now. So this is the information you know, and you're looking up what you don't know, right? And that's where you use the VLOOKUPs, and you can see how these are constructed here. If I click on here, essentially, so we're gonna try to recreate this whole thing. So I'll go ahead and delete these over here, right? So these are just titles. So I just copied policy, expiration date, or let's delete this. So this is where we're gonna enter our policy. So you could just do like a little equal sign. If you just want to keep the same names, I'll select that and go over here, do equal. If you don't want to retype it, and we did state, and then over here we had the value, I guess. Select that cell, or you can type it in if you want to do it manually, but I like to keep things a lot simple. All right, now we have our kind of like our little area here. So to do a VLOOKUP, I'm gonna start with equal sign VLOOKUP. So you type that in. So if you look here, you're gonna have these little cheat codes here where it tells you excuse me, what to put on each position. So the first one is going to be the lookup value. So the lookup value is essentially what is the value that you know that you're going to be looking up. For this example, it was the policy number, right? So I'm going to select this empty cell here, and this is where we're going to be typing in the policy number. So we're going to use this as a placeholder for now, and I'm going to add a comma right there. Now it's asking what is the table that we have to look for this data, right? So when the VLOOKUP is searching for something, it's, V stands for vertical. So it's searching up and down, right? So it's going to go up and down. And then, so the table itself, you have to include, let's say here we're going to be looking for things that are on the right side of this, which is really important. What you're searching needs to be on the right side of going this direction. So here we can select the entire table. So you can either select it like this, the entire thing, or you can type it in if you like to do that, right? It doesn't matter. Just make sure you select the data set where you're looking for those values from. So you don't have to select the entire thing. If I know that, the things I'm going to be looking for goes up to business type, I can just leave it to here and go all the way down, right? Or you can, since I already know and I don't feel like scrolling all the way down, I can go here. It's gonna from A2, so starting at A2, that's the beginning, and we know that I'm gonna select the entire table for this example. It doesn't matter. It goes to J, and I think it was 501 all the way down. So we do J 501, and then comma So if you go all the way down here, you can see that all the data ends at J501 is going to be this last cell here. Right here. This is J501, so it selects everything from A2 to J501, which is the entire table pretty much. All right, going all the way up to the top without messing up our VLOOKUP here. And I add a comma. The next thing is going to be the column index. So this is going to be where the information is at. So for this example, we're looking for the expiration date, this first VLOOKUP. So what is the column index for this? So you're gonna count from the left to the right. Like I said, VLOOKUPs go from left to right and they look up and down, right? So the first, so my table array starts from, this from A here, right? From column A. Now what you're gonna do, this is gonna be number 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how it goes. So our, where is it? What we're looking for, the expiration date is gonna be in 2, in column 2. So when I add 2 here, that's gonna be the location of the column where it's looking for the information. Now the last one is just gonna ask you if you want an approximate match or an exact match. In a lot of the times that I've had to use this, I always use an exact match. But sometimes you might need to do approximate, but I always go to exact because I want the exact thing that I'm looking for. You do 0, or you can type in, you can use false. So 1 is true, 0 is false. Doesn't matter what you use. You close this and you hit enter. So we're getting an NA here. This is because we have this as a placeholder without the actual data. So I can grab this first one here. I'll just copy that and I'll put it in here. And you see that we have our data in here. Okay, we're just gonna keep that in here so we can just mess with it like that. Now for the second one, it's gonna be the same thing here. You do VLOOKUP, and then it's gonna be the same process. We're gonna select this. This is gonna be our lookup value. And then our table was A2 to J501, I believe. 501, it selects the entire table, and then our column index, that's the only thing that's going to change here. It's going to be our, here we're looking for the state. The state is going to be in D, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to add 4, and then 0 for false, or you can type in false, so you use false. So 0. So we have New York. And yeah, so you can obviously lock these and drag the formulas and things like that. But I'm just doing this so that you can kind of like see it multiple times. You do the same thing via lookup here. Damn. So it's via lookup, and then here same process. So like this, comma, and then we do our A2 to J501. Selects the entire table, and then thing that's going to change, we're looking for the insured value. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's 6. So 6. We hit a 0 here. Now we get our value, which is this right here. Okay. Now we can do the same thing here. Hopefully this gets stuck in your head. It's because you should do it so many times. So A2 to J501, and then column index. This one is the business type, which can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8, and then 0. So kind of like that. You have the business over here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's how easy it is to do this. Obviously you can get into more advanced stuff. You can build an automated a bunch of things. That's where you get to the advanced stuff. But I think as long as you understand this basic these basic fundamentals of how to use this and how they work, then you should be fine to learn the advanced stuff. So that's what I wanted to cover in this video. Let's see here. I can bring this back, and how do I get this? Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, that's what I wanted to cover in this video. I'll have it saved. I'll probably clip it to where it only shows, maybe re-upload it as only the VLOOKUP part. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this live stream. Unless anyone has a question or any further explanations needed, let me know here, or any other questions. Maybe I will do some questions that were on the channel from a couple of days ago. Let's see if I can find any that were posted. YouTube Studio, comments. Uh, yeah, I don't think I have any new ones here. So, anyways, this is it. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to me on Instagram. I also have a link if you want to do a one-on-one meeting or something like that. There's links in the description. But I'll see you guys on the next one. Maybe tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Thursday. Yeah. I'll see you guys on the next one tomorrow. So if you have any other questions, just make sure you leave them in the chat or under the video. I'll be able to see those and maybe cover those in a different video.